Hey YouTube, this is my video to talk about EDC fixed blades. So these are blades that can easily fit into a person's pockets or on the belt and not be cumbersome or print for those non-knife type of people and give them scares. But allows you to carry a very strong knife um, easily for day-to-day use. And one of the things I wanted to point out, you know, one of the reasons why I like a big knife is this is the type of apples that I like getting, and little 3-inch EDC folders. It's a lot of work to try and cut through this kind of apple of this size. As you can see, the size of my fist next to it. This is called a Honey Crunch apple. Fuji's are another one that I like getting that can grow to quite large sizes. So that's why I usually like a large knife, like something that's got a little bit of length to the blade, and then I'll take that through the apple like that. So speaking of EDC fixed blades, this is a knife that just sits in my kitchen for utility work. It's one of the Mule Teams by Spyderco. This is the 9CR18MO, which was the Chinese steel model that they made. And attached to it is a pair of Halpern Titanium. I think it's option 1 is what they called these G10 scales. This is the Ranger green color, as they call it. So a couple of the other ones that I have is this is the S90V version. I'll write this down right here. I had some custom scales put on this one. This has got carbon fiber with a G10, black G10 spacer material in it. This was done by a pimper on the forums that goes by Potterma. Michael Potter is his name. And he made some really good contouring in these. So it's got a bit of a palm swell. And he did the scales for all 3 of these. This is the M4 model. Really thick orange G10 on these. And that's a glow-in-the-dark dot in the middle. And then the large flathead screws. So if I needed to in a pinch, I could use things like coins and stuff to get these off if necessary. And hold a little closer, you see there's a couple of little smaller glow-in-the-dark dots at each end. And he left this open so that I could put a lanyard there if I wanted. And this is my fancy Mule Team that I had done. This is the 52-100. You might see it's kind of covered in oil. Sorry if I'm getting some glare here. And again, these were made by Potterma. These are actual ram's horn scales that I had put onto this model. And for the 3 I just showed you, each one of these, the sheaths, I shipped the knives off with the scales and I sent them to By Brown Leatherworks. He also obviously does kydex, but I sent these over to him to get fitted for custom sheaths. So there's some of my Mule Teams. A couple of the knives that I actually like to carry as far as EDC fixed blades are these 2 right here. These are the Bill Moran models by Spyderco. This is the upswept model. It's pretty nice. The only difference is in the Moran models really is just this blade shape, as you'll see. This one here is the drop point model. So you see a bit of the difference. This is really looks a lot like a Moran. If you've ever seen any of his customs on websites or any type of videos or anything. Even this handle shape is very much kind of a signature for him. And this is an FRN handle that has craton inserts along both sides. And then there's a small bit of it right here where you put your thumb at. And interestingly enough, I don't normally hold this knife like this. For whatever reason, I always want to get up on it like this and use this choil that's here, the ricasso, and allows you to get right up to the edge, right up to the very back of the edge, which is kind of cool. Feels pretty good in hand. It's got flattened areas along this side so that you can actually hold it like this and pinch it and use it that way as well, which works really well. What else? Let's see. Got one custom that I wanted to show off here. This is a Dialect Commander, and it's spelled Komondor. Dialex is a guy that is on the Spyderco forums. He does some custom knife designs. Y'all may recognize the Spyderco Adventura as being one of his models. He also has the Junior that's just come out. This was a fixed blade model that he had on his websites, the website he has for quite a while. And another forum member named Sia Knife Designs, helped DiAlex to get this actually manufactured through DM Knives. Actually did the work. This is CPM S30V with black micarta handles and brass pins. It's a pretty cool little fixed blade. It matches pretty well with the Adventura model by Spyderco, and it's got a kydex sheath that came with it, and then I have, I think, 3 different attachments, belt loops for it. This is the cross draw that's on here right now. See it like that. So pretty cool knife. And I know DiAlex actually got one made, and he has one, and I know I have one, but I don't know if anyone else has ever gotten anyone made. So pretty cool. So some of the other things I wanted to show you was how I carry these knives. So a good example, one of the ways I like is with this Spyderco G-clip and mounting it kind of as high as possible. So like on this Moran sheath, and then throwing it in a pocket right here into the corner of the clip. And then normally what happens is the shirt would come down over this. So I just lift the tail up, and here it is right here. Pop it right out. Do my cutting task, whatever I need to do. And then just reach it back in, snap it right down in there. Another thing I've been doing when I go on any type of short hikes or day hikes or something like that is I have this pair of pants that has a cargo pocket along the side with different layers. But in particular is this larger pocket here. And this one actually fits just perfectly right into there. And kind of tucks away. So it can't even be seen until I need it. And then just reach in. Pop it out of the sheath. Let the sheath drop back in. Do whatever cutting I need to do. And I can just reach back in there. Put it back. Tuck it back in, move about my business. So obviously a lot of the stuff that I do as far as at my own place, you know, here cutting an apple, of course. So that's one way of doing it. Like I said, really my preferred method is just lay it across and then pop it over. Cut this up. These particular ones are made out of VG10 steel. They hone up pretty good. And obviously core the apple. I don't know if you can tell, I'm using those little flattened ends right here, which again allows me a lot of control. It gets right down towards the very base of the blade. like that. Besides that, you see I got a little stick here, so something else I might do when I'm, out doing a hike or whatever. This was one that I was actually just messing around with, making like a tent stake. So sharpened one end, notch on the other side, but I figured I'd demonstrate that for you. It works pretty well. There you go. A nice little sharp point on there. Now let's see if we can do a knot. This wood's been sitting around, so it feels kind of hard, a lot harder than when I first got it. So make a notch here. Help me with my cuts to end it. I'm just going to push across there. Man, this stuff is dried out. It's pretty tough right now. Definitely not as wet or soft when I pick the stick up. But there you go. There's the notch I just put in there. Need to square that off a little better. That's a little better. So there you go. Now look at that tip. Pretty good. I'm not sure what type of wood this is. So just out in the forest area around where I live. But there you go. This is probably one that I use the most, and then this one again just because I just kick it around in my kitchen, so it's always there cutting open bags and boxes and what have you, stuff like that, cutting labels off of cans that I'm recycling, things like that. But there it is. These are all perfectly acceptable to use as everyday carry, fairly small. Some of them do give you a pretty good amount of blade to use, and with these, got some pretty good ergonomics on the handles, stuff that you don't necessarily see on a folder, which goes into a pocket and has to be a little slimmer in those cases for going into a pocket, but when you're carrying these in a larger pocket like a cargo pocket, or if you're carrying it on your belt, you can afford sometimes the luxury of having a little thicker handle to give you a good purchase. All right, that's it. That's my video on EDC fixed blades. Thanks.